What's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some...
Not your skill at bargaining.
No deal.
Jesus Christ, what happened to you?
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to episode 1 of Horror Tuesdays. Horror Tuesdays is something I've been wanting to do for a while. Just talk about what's in horror right now, what's coming out, what's recently been released, look at some box office numbers, and recommend movies and TV shows that I've enjoyed. As always, I'm your host, Nadia. I run the I'll Be Right Back channel. And I ask that if you've gotten this far in the video, please go ahead before we get into it. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Comment also below on anything you'd like me to cover or any news that I have covered that maybe you disagree or agree with. And just to note too, any articles that I have brought up during this episode will be linked in the description below. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to do as of time recording, today is Mike Flanagan's birthday. Mike Flanagan, as everyone knows, is from the Netflix series, creator of Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass, which is one of my favorite, The Fall of the House of Usher. He also directed Dr. Sleep. I have a pretty cool looking tweet from the Mike Flanagan source, which I follow. So happy birthday to the one and only Mike Flanagan. And I love this costume right here. This is him on the set of Dr. Sleep. I'm curious if anybody watching out there, do you like Mike Flanagan? What shows or movies have you liked of his? I know he's doing something new for Amazon. My hopes is that he'll actually maybe move forward with doing the Dark Tower series. I think he would be really great at it. I would love to see his adaptation of The Stand. I don't think that's going to be coming anytime soon since we just got that really iffy remake. And I feel like that's the nicest way of saying it the last couple of days ago. So not days ago, but a couple of years ago. So happy birthday to Mr. Mike Flanagan. And again, if you see this somehow, please do the Dark Tower series. Please. Thank you. So the first thing I want to talk about is a franchise that I have enjoyed in the past. I'm actually going to be doing a movie review on the first one, and that is The Strangers. To me, The Strangers personally is one of the best home invasion movies. It's very creepy. I'm not totally a fan of the sequels to it. I like the mystery around the first one, but again, I'll go into more depth in my review. But recently, what was released was The Strangers Chapter 1, and it's not looking so good. Reviews for it sounds pretty bad. On a budget of $8 million for its opening weekend, it just made $12 million back in the box office. I have not seen this movie yet. I don't know the spoilers of it. I understand the concept of it, but it's from everyone I do trust in the horror community. Somebody said it looked like it was written by AI. It's supposed to be the first installment of 5 planned movies. And for anybody that knows, like, oh, 12 million back on an 8 million budget, that sounds pretty good. I don't know if marketing is included in that. Normally a movie to be successful in the box office, in my opinion, should be triple the amount of the budget. Hopefully, maybe with a second week or third week. But word of mouth is it's not that great to begin with. Yeah, this is from Screen Rant. When it comes to The Strangers Chapter 1, the odds did not look so good. Horror movies can often struggle during theatrical release. I will say that, even if they're part of a well-known franchise, I feel horror is hit or miss when it comes to theatrical releases. Big budget IPs like The Exorcist, which Exorcist Believer wasn't that great, will draw people in because I think it's generational IP where my dad knows what The Exorcist is. I know what The Exorcist is, nephews and nieces, things like that. Where The Strangers, I don't think it has such a big pull as something big like Insidious. And again, The Exorcist or The Omen that recently came out, the prequel to it. I really hope it turns around, but again, the reviews have not been so great on it. I wonder if it'll have a harder time after its bad reviews. I still am willing to check it out. I'm just not in a rush to go see it in theaters. I feel like this might be something I'll stream. I do love the original so well. To hear that it might be, sounded like it was written by AI looks pretty bad. But the trailers looked pretty good, from my opinion, from what I've seen. I don't know. Have you seen The Strangers? Will you go check it out? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of it, if you're planning on seeing it at all. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, which has been a hot topic in the horror community, is the Friday the 13th Crystal Lake series. There was cancellation rumors for it, and then it was back on. From what I've found in, let's see, this article right here by Joe Blow, which I love Joe Blow's videos and stuff. Shout out to them, as if they ever see this, shout out to them. So there's back and forth on the whole fact that the Crystal Lake series for the Peacock streaming service was going to be canceled, and now it's back on. A lot of questions come to mind is like, do we need another Jason series? What will the prequel kind of be surrounded by? I don't know if we actually do. I know they tried to reboot Friday the 13th in the 2000s, and to be honest, I kind of liked the remake. I didn't think it was terrible. I would love to see a series on this, but in the prequel, I don't know what else you could possibly do for it. I have another article from, let me pull it up, comic book. Where is it? No. I just saw it. Here it is. We do this live, guys. We're not really doing this live, but we do this as authentic as possible. Everybody struggles with tabs. We can get this out of the way. Friday the 13th prequel series in Crystal Lake is still in development despite the cancellation rumors. I want to know what the main focus of it is going to be. Obviously, it's his mother, right? Anybody, spoiler alert. Jason wasn't even in the first one. It's spoiler alert on that one, if it is a spoiler alert. But what is it going to focus around? And what will it be like the Bates Motel? Bates Motel is, I feel, a very underrated TV show. It's very good, at least the first couple of seasons. We received essentially a 2-season order without even casting stars and roles. Interesting. See, we're learning things together, guys. I don't know if it's exciting, the fact that it's going to be on Peacock. I mean, there's not really, I don't know if there's any really decent series, but there's Twisted Metal at Peacock. I think it is. It does come from executive producer Brian Fuller and A24. A24 to me personally, I know there's people who really love A24 and there's people who are like iffy on it. I'm in the middle ground. I feel there's hit or miss with the production company. I don't think everything A24 puts out there is good quality, but I mean, it's better than most. Oh. It's still in development despite the cancellation, which is great, but I don't have high hopes for this, but it might be something like the Chucky series, where, again, I've only seen the first season of Chucky, I think partially through second. I like it. It's enjoyable, but it's also created by the original creator. He knows his characters, so we'll see. Does this mean we'll never get a Friday the 13th movie again? No, we'll probably will. They got to make their money somehow. All right. Next thing I want to talk about. Let's get into Scream. If anybody knows me, some of you do. Scream is one of my favorite series, like IPs. My favorite slasher, the original. I forgive the series 5, 6. I forgive them all when they're really bad, but I love them. Love them. Ghostface, I'm there. Opening night, right there. And this poor movie has gone through hell as I pull this up. So, take it, you believe it, you don't, you like 5, you like 6, you don't like 5, 6, I get it. Controversial, right? I like all of them. Even the crappy ones. Even 3. I love them all. I think 2 is a great sequel to the first one. I think 3 was experimental. 4, 5, they're all great. I love them. What I don't love about this was originally Christopher Landon was supposed to direct this. And if anybody knows that name, he did Happy Death Day 1 and 2, which by far one of the most enjoyable horror comedies that have come out, I think, in the last couple of years. If you haven't checked out Happy Death Day, I highly recommend it. I was avoiding it because I don't think the marketing really owned up to what the movie was. And I will say, for my husband, who is not a horror buff, he really enjoyed them too. So, highly recommend it. So, the controversy was 7. We have actresses leaving. Whether you believe they were fired, let go, there's a ton of rumors behind it. Then Nev Campbell is coming back for 7, which was announced, which was really cool because she wasn't in 6 because they weren't giving her what she's worth. In my opinion, Scream is not only recognizable by Ghostface, also by Nev Campbell. I mean, come on now. Who else is going to play Nev Campbell? Like, who else is gonna play Sydney? Nobody. Just Nev. That's it. There's no, the day that the day they reboot this with the same character names and stuff, it's gonna be a hard day for somebody who's going to be taking over the Sydney role. That being said, I guess 7 is back on the table. And they're talking about which star should cast what should the cast look like for Scream 7? And this is from Game Rant. And I apologize for all my little pop-ups here. I really don't care as long as it's a strong script and Nev is back. I really wish they didn't kill off. Why is it taking me so hard to come up with these names? You would think like, hey, this is your favorite franchise, Nadia. Well, yeah. Then why can't you remember characters' names? I don't know. I don't know. It's been a long day. Dewey. They killed Dewey in the last one. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. So I don't know how exactly they're going to be able to do this. I don't know if Courtney's coming back for it. I mean, by the way, FYI, I love Courtney Cox's series, Shining Vale. Highly recommend. Underrated again. Another great series. Check it out. Horror, kind of dark comedy, little sci-fi-ish to it. It's really good. Highly recommend. But I don't know who they're going to cast alongside. Jenna Ortega left. She's not going to be coming back for it. Good for her, though. I would love to see them just give it a fresh face to the series. I know they were trying to do that with 6 with it being in a city. Just come up with something new. But again, most Scream fans, I mean, if you have Ghostface in it, somebody's going to be there. But yeah, look, the name's right here. Nev Campbell will be playing Sydney Prescott in 7. But there's no casting details confirmed of mid-May. I for whatever reason, people don't like 5 or 6. I actually like the overlap of the kids in 5 and 6. I thought that was really well done with the cast. I think they should keep it small, and if she's coming back, then focus back on Sydney. I think I don't want to say that's what I think the fans want. That's what I want, and I'm a fan. So it's at least what one fan wants, I guess. What do you guys think? Should they just focus on Sydney's story, kind of complete it, maybe give her a final arc? That's it. She's done after 7. Do you think Nev would come back for 8, 9, and 10? Do you like Scream? I know a lot of people don't. But I find it to be the Mission Impossible of horror. It's always fun to go watch, even if the story's not really there sometimes. So moving on. So those were the news reports I wanted to cover, at least on those 3 topics. So this recap again. Strangers Chapter 1. Sounds like it's not doing so good. Kind of mediocre in the box office. It's supposed to be one of 5 films. We'll see if that happens. Crystal Lake in development hell, to be honest, in my opinion. Even reading these articles of the fact it's back in development, back and forth. I really think it's in development hell for this. And it's sad because I know Friday the 13th franchise has such a strong fan base. And I know a lot of people that enjoy those movies. I would really love to see what Peacock is going to be doing with this, with A24. And then Scream 7. Nev coming back. Going to be playing Sydney. Really sad that Christopher Landon had to leave because I would really have enjoyed what his version of Scream would have been like. That being said, what I want to move on to is just two trailers I want to cover. Longlegs, which actually released a new trailer today, and In a Violent Nature. So we're going to talk about Longlegs first. I'm very excited for this. This movie looks like it's going to creep me out. So let me pull it up. I have not seen the new trailer for it yet that dropped today, so we're gonna watch it together. Give me a second to let this set up. I'm gonna do this. Oh, wrong one. You know, even I'm keeping this in because even if you record, so I don't know. This is just me, guys. I just want to talk about horror. So here we go. Longlegs. Official trailer by Neon. I don't know. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Creepy. Oh, let me turn this volume down a little bit.
Is it scary being a lady FBI agent?
It is.
Yeah.
Take a nice long look. A letter was left with the bodies.
It's giving me very much Seven vibes, a little bit going on.
Sign of one word.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm in. I'm totally absolutely not by the fact that if I was put in that kind of situation, I would probably have shit my pants by now. But I'm totally in. This looks exactly like the type of movie I'm going to enjoy.
I saw a beast rise up out of the sea with 7 heads and 10 horns. And on his horns he wore 10 crowns. On each head was written a blasphemous name.
What aren't you telling me?
He'll kill and kill again.
This is also giving me a little bit of True Detective vibes going on too. I usually don't like it when they put almost the whole movie in the trailer, but I don't understand yet what is going on. Obviously, it's probably something demonic or diabolic or satanic or something. But I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued.
I know you're not afraid of a little bit of dark. Because you are the dark.
Do you still say your prayers? Never once. They scared me. Hello?
Oof.
You could have made nice with me. But you didn't. And that is led to all of this. I'll be waiting.
Oh right, Nicolas Cage is in this. That's what I was for a minute there. It took me a second there. I didn't say I was the brightest person in the world. That's dope. I'm intrigued. It's got a mix of a little bit of, like I said, True Detectives and a little bit of Seven. I think Seven. I say that because of the color palette utilized in this. And there's a little. I don't know. There's something else. I can't put my finger on it, but it's definitely something I would enjoy. I like creepy movies like this. Have you ever seen Speak No Evil? Mint. Perfection. Creepy. Creepy. But so good. So good. One of my recommendations, 100%. All right. Now the other movie I'm super excited for is In the Violent Nature, which is supposed to be taking place from a point of view of the killer themselves. Of it themselves. Yeah, themselves is a proper, I don't know, proper term. Anyway, I'm very excited for this. It looks really good. I don't know if anybody else. I was told it's a bit gruesome. Understandable. Okay. I just love the cinematography in this trailer. I don't know why. It's just creepy. This is loud. This is too loud. All right, there we go. Oof. Now, when you're asked if you want to be in the forest with a bear or a man, but they said it has to be this man, I still believe women would choose the bear. Ugh. Interesting. It looks intriguing. It's definitely an interesting point of view. Uh-oh. Yeah, don't stand there. Run. Run, girl. Run. Oof.
Animals don't get too hung up on reason. They just keep killing.
Nice title card. Oh, that's dope. Very nice title card. I get it. This is coming out Memorial Weekend, which is next weekend. Hopefully I will be going to go see it in theaters. I am going to make an attempt, and everybody hold me to this, from this point on, I am going to try to go see as many horror movies in theaters, at least open weekend as much as I can, especially if I'm going to be doing Horror Tuesdays and wanting to talk about these movies with you guys and hear your thoughts in the comments. And that reminds me, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for all future horror content, including my breakdown of movies, Horror Tuesdays. Right now I have my first breakdown up of Late Night with the Devil, which reminds me is what my movie rec for the episode is. I highly recommend Late Night with the Devil. Let me pull up the Criticlist app for this one. Late Night with the Devil, starring starring David Mulchin. Say it with me, folks. Mulchin. Love this movie. I was very fortunate enough to meet David a long time ago, oh my god, maybe 10 years more so ago. This is before his career really took off. He was doing indie films in Chicago, and I was a special effects makeup artist, and he's a wonderful person. I got to meet him again recently when he was doing the launch off for his comic books. Again, I think he's a beautiful person inside and out. I'm so happy to see his career blossom. Late Night with the Devil, which in the description below will have my movie review. It's not really a breakdown, but just my review of it. I guess it's a breakdown too. Anyway, it'll have that in there. I highly recommend. And on Criticlist right now, audience score out of 49 reviews, 80%. The people I follow, it's 86%, which is only 2, but mine was 100%. Highly recommend this movie. It's so good. It's a live broadcast of a late night talk show set in 1977, also set in Chicago for us Chicagoans. It's a great nod. And it unleashes evil into the nation's living room. This is a really, really tip of the iceberg description of this. I know it was very controversial during the third act of this movie. I highly recommend it, though. It's really, really good. Even with the third act, even if you don't enjoy it, the ride along is great. I don't want to give too much away in it. My review was spoiler free because I do want people to actually stream this, watch this, buy this. I think supporting indie horror like this is a great push to getting more high quality horror. I think, again, highly recommend it. And then I also want to recommend a TV show that came out a while back called Them Scared. It's actually the second season to a horror anthology on Amazon Prime. Them was the first one, set during, I believe, the 1950s. The Scared is set in the 90s during the Rodney King riots. I think the second season definitely set up its amp of horror and gore. And as an anthology series similar to American Horror Story, you really don't have to watch season 1 to understand season 2. There's just a little bit of a nod back to season 1 too. In all honesty, to me, I think this is what American Horror Story wishes they were, or was trying to attempt to do. This season takes place, like I said, during 1991. Detective Don Reeves, who's assigned to a new case, a gruesome murder of a foster home mother that has left even more hardened detectives shaken. It has a bit of a supernatural feel to it as well. Highly recommend it. I haven't seen horror TV shows like this in a long time, other than From and the first season. And there's a 3-year gap between the first and second season. I hope they continue it with a lesser gap. I'm really hoping so. But again, I recommend it. I also recommend the first season. If you're down, got the time, do it. But this one, I will definitely tell you, they again set up the amp and raised the bar for it. So highly recommend that. And then one of the last things I want to talk about is what is coming out for the rest of May. So upcoming horror for May. There's been a bunch of horror movies. Like I said, In a Violent Nature will be coming out next weekend. There's 2 other movies that are coming out, which I've not heard of either of these movies. So let me see if I can pull these up. Give me 1 second. I think it's called, let's see, horror movies. This May, I had them up, but they decided to disappear on me. Where are you? Here we go. So there is Handling the Dead, which is pretty interesting to me. Let me go ahead and share that. So Handling the Dead, on a hot summer day in Ulsa, dead mysterious awaken and 3 families are thrown into chaos when their deceased loved ones come back to them. It already has a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes out of 38 reviews. I have not heard anything of this movie, but you know what? It sounds pretty good. It's going to be in theaters Friday, May 31st. I assume it's going to be on select theaters because, again, I haven't heard much of it. But this is one that I don't know if I would recommend yet, but it definitely sounds like my kind of cup of tea. I don't know why I like the depraved, like really sad movies. I don't know why I want to bring that in my life. The other one, which again, I have not heard of, but it sounds interesting, and I always like retro movies, and this is Deer Camp 86. In the fall of 1986, 6 friends from Detroit travel north to partake in an annual tradition of deer hunting, but something horrific has been awakened. Ooh, so this is going to be interesting too. Again, haven't heard much of it, but I have not seen any reviews, and this also will be in theaters next week. Again, probably in select theaters. I don't think it's going to have a nationwide release on it. But that would be my episode of Horror Tuesdays, everyone. My news. Please, again, hit that like button, subscribe, comment below. What are you excited for that's coming out for the rest of the month? What are you not excited for? Have you seen Late Night with the Devil? Have you seen Them Scared? Are you excited for Longlegs? In a Violent Nature? Just, leave a comment below. And until next time, I hope everyone has a very, very spooky day. Bye, everybody.